Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome back to, we're about midway on our journey from Phoenix to Elko. Let's get rolling here and I'll tell you a couple things that are going on. The game did patch up. It's actually patched up several times in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Oh, and you know what? I just thought of something. We pulled in here because it got dark. It's 4 a.m. What do you want to do? You just want to keep driving? We have to sleep in 4 hours. The job is there in 9 hours. Let's do this. Let's take a nap. Let's crawl in the old bunk and get some sleep. So now we're back in daylight. We can see better, and we have plenty of sleep to get there. Right. Put her in gear. Brake is off. And here we go. So the game did patch up. It is now 1.32.2.75 Sierra. Sierra, I tell you. And I found there's a new trailer tire mod. There have been a few over the past couple weeks since 1.32 came out with the buyable trailers. There have been a few, and you know, I never want to say anything bad about a mod maker because I can't make mods. So I have tremendous respect for people that can. That being said, not all mods are created equal. Some of them need a little polish, if you know what I'm saying. Others are really, really good. So there's a guy named Gaiman. Gaiman. He's the cat that does drivetrain revision for ATS and ETS, they're fantastic mods. They're very subtle. They're very much below the radar kind of mods, and they're fantastic. He makes one for every brand in ATS and ETS, and they're in the Steam Workshop. Well, he made a trailer tire mod as well, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. You know, he seems like a solid mod maker. So I went ahead and downloaded it and put proper tires on all my trailers, and I did the same thing in ETS as well. So that is an upgrade. I did try. Now, even though we patched up to .75S, the game did not reset. Very often it does when it patches like that. This time it did not. So we're still rolling on our journey. We didn't have to restart in Phoenix again. But, why did I mention that? Because I restarted the game a couple times, and I was having problems with the Jazzy Cats packs. Not that there's anything wrong with the Jazzy Cats packs. They are awesome, but my man has not brought everything up to 1.32, and I believe there are some issues with trailers, and I'm getting crashes anytime I turn back on Jazzy Cats. Now, it could be that if you just run that mod, everything is fine, but because I have other mods running, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's mod conflict, but it's not the mod itself that's the problem. It's just the combination that I'm running. Either way, I fired up Jazzy Cats again, all of his packs that I have for ATS, and got crashes. So turned those back off. Can't wait to have them running again, but for the moment, they're turned off. They need to be. And what else is going on? I'm experimenting with scaling still, and different forms of anti-aliasing, and just trying to get a really good render and a really good frame rate, which, of course I am. Like, that's what every gamer is trying to do. But I've been getting a lot of picket fence and a lot of Marais, and I need to know, I guess, because, well, there's a lot of things. There's what my graphics card is rendering, right? But then there's what my monitor will show, which are different things, right? Now, typically, your graphics card is going to work pretty closely with your monitor, particularly on a laptop, because they're sort of selected to work together. You know, if you build your own system, you can kind of configure things and mix and match. But laptops are generally built to work with themselves. So there's what my graphics card is rendering, then there's what my monitor shows, then there's what Shadowplay captures, right? Then I take that into my editing app, which immediately converts the MP4 to an MKV to stabilize the variable frame rate that Shadowplay creates. Then I render that as an MP4 at 1080p 60 FPS. Then I upload it to YouTube, and they process it again to their specs. So I guess what I'm saying is what I'm looking at now and what you ultimately see on YouTube are probably pretty different. And I don't know if you're getting some of the picket fence that I get. And then the flip side of that is, like, I could go 4K, but depending on how your monitor renders, it might put some picket fence back in. So I don't want to be chasing the dragon, but I do want to make like reality quality videos. That is my goal. I know this isn't there yet. And I know, man, I know some people that say truck sim is not really eye candy. And I get where they're coming from. You know, I respect all people's opinions. But at the same time, it doesn't happen all the time. But every now and then, I'll catch this game at a certain angle, this or ETS, and I think, oh yeah, that is some eye candy. It's not every second that I'm playing it, but it has its moments for sure. So I know that what we're looking at right now is not, it ain't The Division by any means. But I definitely want to get my videos, both my own render that I see on my monitor and what I'm able to post on YouTube. I definitely want to get that to, I want it to look like you can stick your hand in it, like you're looking out a damn window, you know, like as good as life, as good as reality. And I think we're probably still a few years off from that on like an everyday basis. But I know I've seen some systems that can do it. Some systems and some monitors, and when you do get into 4K, just the depth and the richness and everything, it'll get there. I know it will. I can't wait. So now, will I be able to do that on a laptop? I don't know. My next system, I've got it built. I literally have it built, and I have it in the basket on the HP store. I just need to pull the trigger on it. But it is a 4K laptop. i7, 32 gig of RAM with a 1070 card. At the moment, I believe that's the fastest card, biggest card you can get in an Omen is a 1070. I could be wrong about that. And I'm sort of tempted to wait because I feel like at some point they'll be able to get a 1080 in there. So, but anyway, that's a story for another day. Maybe by Christmas, I'll get on that new system. And I know I've talked to some people in my physical world, gamers, people that I know in real life, and they're like, oh, you got to get on that Alienware, you got to get on that Asus, you got to build a custom system, you got to get on desktop. And I respect and appreciate all of that. And from a certain angle, yeah, they're absolutely right. That is the way to go. But when I consider all the factors, because it's more than just what do I want. There's warranty, there's price. Frankly, I'm on a budget. I don't have unlimited money, and I think there's some brand loyalty. HP has treated me really well over the years, both as a company and the actual hardware. And I know that, for everybody that's got an amazing HP story about reliability, somebody else is like, oh man, I've owned 3 HPs and they were all crap, which is also valid, and you hear the same thing about Dell a lot. Some people swear by Dell. Other people are like, oh God, Dell is the worst. So I've got some loyalty to HP. They've always treated me right. So I'm sticking with Omen for the time being. I'm sticking with Omen. Let me slow it down here. What else is going on? I'm in East Coast of the United States, and it looks like there's a possibility of a direct hit by a hurricane, probably in 4 or 5 days. Should we get fuel? No. It says we got 600 miles in the tank. Let's just keep rolling. And when I look at the forecast, I'm kind of a weather geek. I'm kind of a geek in a lot of ways. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I'm a secret geek, and I really like weather. So I'm studying like all the computer models, and what they do is take like 30 different models from all these different meteorological gurus all around the world, and then they kind of average them out. And what I'm looking at right now is this hurricane is going to make a direct hit, not just on the East Coast of the United States, but like a direct hit on me. it's as if the Hurricane wants a piece of me. Like, if the Hurricane was a fat kid, I would be cake. So we'll see how that goes. I have already made some, I wouldn't say arrangements, but I'm thinking ahead, like how and where I'm going to post if I get hit by a hurricane. And I also just noticed the sun is starting to go down. And I was like firmly committed to the idea of not doing a night video, but we've got 6 hours to get there. And the sun's going to go down in a couple hours. So once again, we will be doing a night video, but that's okay. I've decided to do more night driving. And, you know, part of the reason for it was, I told you initially I had some comments. People were like, oh, I don't like the night videos. I can't see anything. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to chase off any viewers. And then I realized, like, hey, nobody's watching my videos anyway. Like, I can do whatever I want and not worry about losing viewers. Although, like, I joke about that, but the channel is starting to pick up some momentum, and it is hilarious. Because I have a video that has over 500 views now, and I'm like, mother flipping 500 views. And then I watch my favorite YouTubers, and their videos have like 500,000 views. You know, I've got 50 subs, and I see people that have, you know, 500,000 subs. So it's weird because it does feel like such an accomplishment to see the channel growing, even in very, very small ways. And I never would have thought that, you know, having 50 viewers or having 500 views on a video would be meaningful in any way, but it's really kind of cool, you know, to see it grow. So, and I guess I ought to thank everybody for that, because I'm getting more views, I'm getting more subscribers, and I'm getting more comments and feedback. So I should really thank everybody for that as well. So I do appreciate you tuning in, and I know the way that I track analytics, I know there's some videos that, like, within, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes of posting a video, it's got 3 hits, 3 views. And I feel like that's my notification squad, which at this point, you know, it's got 3 people in it. I'm not exactly Pootie Pie, but it's funny to me to think that somebody is like, when they see one of my videos, they're like, oh, sweet, I can watch one of Ill Will's videos. And that is just, it's really humbling, and it makes me smile, it makes me laugh. I think it's super, super cool. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm having a blast, and I'll try to keep making good videos and better videos every day. And we'll just keep rolling, keep doing what we do. What else is going on? Oh, I didn't think my turn was coming up that soon. So I really like Assetto Corsa. And you know, Assetto Corsa, oh, what? I could have just gone straight. Oh man, it's like, it's got me routed through this little twisty road, and then I have to make a left turn onto a highway. I could have just gone straight. Stupid GPS. So you know I'm really into Assetto Corsa, and new Assetto Corsa Competizione, comes out on September 12th, and I've really been looking forward to it, super been looking forward to it. But then I noticed, like, you can't pre-order it like you can with, well, pretty much every game ever. And I was a little curious about that, but I had it on my notification list in Steam, and then I'm looking the other day, looking just like that. I'm looking the other day, and now it says early access. Did not want to do that. Am I going to make it? Am I going to scrape? There you go. That's what I wanted to do. So I was looking at my list the other day, and I noticed that Assetto Corsa Competizione says early access now. And I have to say, I wasn't quite mad, but I was a little, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, because I was under the impression that Competizione was going to be like a fully released game. I did not think it was going to be early access. And I don't mind doing early access, and they generally throw you some perks, you know, if you're an early access tester. So I'll do it. I will 100% do it, but I get the feeling that the game is not done yet. I have a feeling that they had a projected date to release it, and as they got closer and closer to that date, they realized they were not going to have a full retail version ready. So first it became, you know, early access, and we'll see if it even gets released on the 12th. Because the thing is, a full retail game, particularly if you have investors, if you've committed to release on a certain day, you have to release on that certain day. Early access is like, oh, you know, it's almost like they're doing us a favor. It's just early access. So if it's not ready, it'll be ready later. So I'm curious if it even gets released on the 12th. I'm still into it. I can't wait to play it. But to my way of thinking, they maybe have some issues or some delays with that dang old Assetto Corsa Competizione. So we'll see how it goes. And as I understand it, it is a pretty ambitious jump from Assetto Corsa up to the new one. It's going to have a dynamic day-night cycle like Project Cars and R Factor. It's going to have headlights that work versus just being kind of visual headlights, which I always thought was odd that Assetto Corsa had headlights you could turn on, but they didn't do anything. Like that's kind of okay. That's a thing. And there are actually, I've got them. There are some mods that you can get that allow you to do night racing in Assetto Corsa. They are dynamic shaders for the lighting, but it does not allow a dynamic day-night cycle, which is two different things. They're both dynamic, but they mean like different things. So I got it working. You can do a night race, but you can't do a day-night race, right? Like you can't go back and forth. It doesn't happen automatically. So Assetto Corsa Competizione, the rumor is that it will have dynamic day-night cycle, that it will have dynamic shaders, that it will have weather, and a lot of other stuff. I'm hoping that they can keep the physics as good as they are. That's one of the things that I like about Assetto Corsa is for me it's a nice compromise between the immersive graphics of Project Cars 2, very immersive, not the most realistic, and something like R Factor, very realistic, not the most immersive. So we'll see how that goes. This road is getting twisty, and I'm going to slow it down a little bit right about now. I'd like to slow things down because I've got my trailer stability turned way down. That's how I like to roll. That's how I like to roll over. Right. And we're rolling. There we go. What else? I think that's about it. Man, I don't know how far to go tonight. Because I think we're about... Are we 30 minutes in? Let's take a look. We're 18 minutes in. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay, that'll work. For some reason, I thought we were further in. Okay. Man, I love this game. It's, from a certain angle, it's really kind of silly. Like the whole concept of sim trucking. I don't know what it is about it, but it just really, really works for me. I do love it. And I have to admit, I was not on board the American truck sim side for a long time. I was all about ATS. And I thought, you know, part of it is pro mods. And pro mods really brings a lot to the map. And part of it is all the mods. There's so many fewer mods for ATS. Or I guess an easier way to say it is there's so many more mods for ATS. Moment. So I just really wasn't into it. I think I was a little put off by the fact that there were really only two brands of truck. And, you know how you get. Something just, it's not that it was sour to me. It was just, I didn't have the enthusiasm for it that I have for ETS. But when I started the channel, I started playing ATS more. And I feel like the more I play it, the more I get into it. It's a weird kind of loop where I feel like I'm learning more about the game and appreciating it more. And then there have been some changes as well. 1.31 with the airlines. I don't know why that's a big deal. I really don't. I see a lot of people, like, they post a mod and then there'll be a comment like, doesn't have airlines. And the mod maker's like, you can't see them once you get in the truck. They don't matter. And it's like, yeah, it really does. I don't know why it matters, but like the airlines, I mean, even the way we decorate the trucks at all, all the lights and stuff we put on the outside, like, that shouldn't matter. You really can't see it. What's the difference? I don't know. It just matters. Putting real tires from real manufacturers on trailers. Why would that matter? Who the hell cares? I don't know. It just matters. It's really fun to build trucks. So that's been, I feel like they're adding more things, and the ownable trailers, the first time I read it, I was like, what? That's silly. Who the hell cares if you can own trailers? What's the big deal? And I was totally wrong about that, and I will admit that I was wrong. It is awesome, and it really kind of changes the game, and it's making me think a lot more tactically, I guess, like in the business context, as far as how to grow the business. It's a little bit less important here in ATS because we have so much money. But the reason we have so much money is because we didn't buy anything, because there really wasn't a lot to buy. You can always buy garages, but why? If you're not going to teleport, what do you need garages for? So, but that's my way of playing the game, and that's, I guess, the other awesome thing about Truck Sim is it's such a simple concept. You just drive a truck around, but there are so many different ways to play this game. And I do watch YouTubers. That's where I've learned everything I know about YouTube. I've learned from watching YouTube. So I do watch sim gamers on YouTube, and I see the way people play ETS and ATS. And there are a lot of different ways to play this very simple game. So it's a kind of a weird ask, like, to try to explain this to somebody. And I think everybody gets I think everybody gets racing games because everybody knows what racing is. But then you tell somebody, like in real life, you tell somebody, you're really into transportation simulation, like at a party or something. You're standing out by the pool with a drink in your hand. Oh, so what do you do? Oh, I'm in marketing and communication. Oh, yeah. Well, what do you do for fun? Oh, I'm sim gaming. Oh, what's that? And to try to explain it to people, and particularly farm sim. Like, you tell somebody you're into farm sim, and they're like, oh, yeah, Farmville. I play it on my phone. No, not Farmville. Farm sim. And you just get a blank look. And it's like, yeah, you get in the tractors, you drive around, and you get in the tractor. You drive it like a car. So it's a weird thing we do. Not in a bad way. But it's for people that don't do it, or that don't know it, or that don't get it. It's an odd thing to explain. I don't know if you've ever had to explain simulation gaming to somebody. But if they don't get it, it's like just blank look. So yeah, man. I think it's going on 9. Yeah, it'll be full dark by the time we get there. But we're going to have a little bit of night driving. Nothing wrong with that. It's a pretty game at night. At nighttime is my favorite time to drive. I also, there's some new roads that came in with 1.32, California 550, I think. And, well, I've got one surprise for us in Elko, if the game doesn't crash. As long as the game doesn't crash, it's a nice surprise. If the game crashes, then, well, that's really not a very nice surprise. I guess it's still a surprise. Surprise me with a game crash. But I've got a surprise for us in Elko. And I've also Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. I've also trying to concentrate and not run into this truck. I've also decided we need to go explore Yosemite a little bit, and if my surprise works when we get to Elko, that's what we're going to use it with. Because it's sort of, if we just go essentially west from Elko, we'll get to that Yosemite area. I imagine at some point the game will patch again and it's going to bump us back to Phoenix. When it does, I want to go down to Clifton with no trailer and pick up something from that copper mine. I didn't do that before, and I felt like it was either take an ownable trailer or go without a trailer. But because the trailers were so new, I took a trailer. And there wasn't anything to pick up at the mine on your own trailer. Mines and quarries are typically like heavy equipment. So I wouldn't say like I had that coming, but I guess I could have known better that there wouldn't be anything to pick up on a flatbed. But so it goes. Living and learning, yo. I guess the other thing I could have done was just checked it before we even went down there. Oh, no, actually, I couldn't because I hadn't discovered the town yet, so I couldn't see it in the job market. Okay. Well, I'm half right. That's above average for me. All right. Getting close. Getting close. I have driven across this exact same desert in real life so many times at night. It's spooky, man. I'll tell you what. You see the same hitchhiker twice. Goddamn skinwalkers. They're out there. I'm telling you. Alright, well now everything got all serious. They're not... It's not like they follow you home or anything, but you do see some very odd things out in the desert. Everywhere from like Four Corners, south of Four Corners, all the way up to Idaho. You see some unusual things out in that part of the world. I don't know if you've spent any time in the American desert Southwest, but it is kind of a haunted place. Carefully, carefully. All right. So we're going to drop this load off, then we're going to put this trailer back into the rotation, and then hopefully we can see if everything works out with my surprise. Beautiful. And we didn't have to get... Okay. I was just about to say we didn't have to get fuel. And at that very moment, it tells me you got to get fuel. We don't. We still have 250 miles in the tank. But, I mean, it'll work out because we're fixing to get out of this truck in a minute. So whoever gets it will have to fill it up. Probably not the nicest thing to do to another driver, give him a truck that needs fuel, but whatever. Whatever. I am sure that SCS knows that when cars go over overpasses, cars and trucks go over overpasses in this game, their lights clip through the road surface. I'm sure they know that. I wish they would fix it. It's not the end of the world, but it is rough on the immersion. Jesus. That is a short ramp. Oh. Short ramp at the top of a hill. Not cool. All right, so we're just about there. Just another minute or two. We'll get into Elko and get dropped off. Unloaded, since we've got our own trailer. And then I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for tomorrow. Well, you're going to see this on Saturday. And I typically like to post a race on Sunday. I haven't done Project Cars for a while, Project Cars 2. So I think I might do Project Cars 2 for tomorrow. We'll see. Now, they want me to pull into the scale or not? They do not. Okay. Thanks, buddy. It's a nice detail. I remember when they added that. All right, and I'm going to jinx it by saying this, but it looks like we're going to make it with no game crash. So that's a bonus. Elko, here we go. Nope, this one, next one, next one. Probably slow down a little bit. Just a little bit. Right. How do we get to it? Where's the ramp? There it is. Okay. Right. Do this last bit carefully. I hate to throw it away after having a clean trip for like whatever we did, 500 miles or something. I hate to throw it away at the very end with a dumb mistake. Okay, it's past the gas station. It looked like we were pulling into the fuel stop, and I couldn't wrap my head around that. Okay, but we're going in here. We're going into maybe a job site, construction, some type of industrial facility. And they just want us to pull straight in. Okay, we can do that. So, lights off, put her in neutral, engine off, and then we unload. How'd we do? Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and let's go to our trailer manager. Take the trailer that we have on and dismiss it. Away it goes. Now we are in Elko, and if we go to truck manager, I built this is the new Viper 389. What's the new version of it? 2.2.1, I believe. So I'm going to try the 389, the Viper 389 again. And it does live in Elko. It's the only garage I had to put it in. So we're going to give her a go. Here we go. Now, I'm curious if they got the mirrors fixed. That's the biggest problem that I have with this truck are the mirrors. and what they do to my frame rate. So let's see how we do. Let's see how we do when we get inside. So first, take a look outside. That is a good-looking truck, man. Can't deny it. Always sounds good. Hopefully it doesn't crash when we start it. Actually, let's turn these on first. Right, so we're going to turn those on. I did go with the BMW style Halo DRL up front. Oh, man, love this truck. Okay, we're going to start her up, see how it goes. So far, so good. Lights work. Lights work. Turn signals work. Turn signals work. Reverse lights work. No lift axle. Right. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing we're going to do... No. Wrong button. The second thing we're going to do is let's use one of our Elko trailers. And I believe the Rocky Mountain Double or the Reefer Triple. Let's do the triple. We haven't... Oh, yeah. We haven't done the triple yet. So let's use the triple and see where it puts us. All right. Come out of this menu. Drive. And where is it? Is it out back? Let's drive through and see if it's out back. Brake off. It says that airlines were added. We are in Elko, right? Is that right? We are not in Elko, I think. Are we in Phoenix? Moment, please. Son of a... Okay, we can fix this. So now... now, we need to... Nope. Here we go. Now we need to... Garage Manager, Elko, Travel. There we go. I thought because we were in Elko that when we got in our new 389 that it would just park the truck that we were in, our 378. And welcome back. I hate to end an episode on a game crash, so I'll tell you a couple things. We are in Elko, which is where we just got to in our 378. And then over there, and let's get hooked up, over there is our Reefer Triple. So we were in the 389, the Viper 389 for about a minute. And we learned a couple things. One is it does seem to cause some crashes. And the other thing is, even after I got it running and got it stable, when you're sitting in the truck, when you can see either one of the outside front mirrors, your frame rate drops to about 20. So my frame rate right now, at night with lights on, is 60 to 61. When we were in the Viper, it dropped to 20. So it's a shame. It's a beautiful truck. It really is. I love it, but it's just not usable for me. And it really frustrates me because it seems like, there are enough comments where people are saying, you gotta fix those mirrors, man. And it seems like they never get fixed. So it goes. So we're still we're in a 378, not a 389. But we are now hooked up to our triples, and when we pick up next time, we will leave from Elko. Man, it's a good looking rig with that little arrow wing. Did I say that right? Yeah, the little arrow wing up over the Reefer. Beautiful. Okay. Shut her down. Let's get some sleep. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. This is 1.32.2.75, and we'll see you next time. Take care now.